All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're exploring a really fascinating idea from what's known as the Chay framework. Think of it as a spiritual map that uses Hebrew words as keys to unlock different parts of ourselves. And today, we are unlocking the seventh key, a really powerful dimension called off.
So, first things first, what is off? Well, the word, pronounced af, literally translates from Hebrew to nostrils. Yep, you heard that right, nostrils. Seems pretty straightforward, kind of physical, right? But come on, is it really that simple? Of course not. The source material we're digging into today shows that behind this simple anatomical term lies a deep, profound spiritual mechanism. This is about so much more than just breathing air. So let's explore this seventh key, apeth. According to the sources, it's a vital spiritual center. Its whole purpose is to receive and circulate what's called the divine breath of life. But what does that actually look like? What does it feel like? Well, the experience starts with a vision. I want you to picture a really serene landscape. There's this powerful mountain overlooking a river that's just flowing peacefully down at its base. It's in this quiet, tranquil setting that something remarkable appears. And then, something in the river catches your eye. At first, you can't quite make it out, but then it comes into focus. It's a pinwheel. And this thing is huge. We're talking 3 meters wide, with 4 super brightly colored blades, red, green, yellow, and blue. But this is where the drama kicks in. The pinwheel, well, it isn't spinning. It's completely stuck, wedged under a massive block of ice with another chunk just floating on top. So you've got this beautiful thing, but it is utterly and completely trapped. Now, this image of the blocked pinwheel, that's the key to everything. It is the central symbol for the challenge we face in this AF dimension. The whole journey is about understanding what's blocking it and, more importantly, how in the world do we set it free? And the source material gives us a direct interpretation for this blockage. The ice isn't just ice. It represents fear. We're talking about the fear of love, the fear of being our true selves, and all those old wounds that can literally freeze our ability to receive and respond to life. You know that hesitation before a difficult conversation, or that little voice of self-doubt that stops you from chasing a dream? That's the ice. So how do you break it? The vision outlines a really clear 3-step process. First up, recognition. Just the simple act of identifying and acknowledging your specific fears, that alone begins to melt the ice. Then comes intervention, where divine help is described as lifting the pinwheel out, repairing it, and placing it on a cliff above the river. And finally, activation. A divine breath is blown on it and boom, it starts spinning freely. And this shows how this core drama is totally universal, even if the obstacles look different for each person. For Daniela, the blockage was ice, representing fear. For Kara, it was a stone, symbolizing dependency on her ex-husband. For Delia, it was whirlpools of external religion. And for Mira, wow, the pinwheel was simply gone, showing a total loss of direction. Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the purpose of a healthy, functioning AJF? Once the pinwheel is free, what is it actually for? And how does it fit into the bigger picture of our inner life? The sources draw this absolutely fascinating distinction inside the spiritual heart. You have Adama, the 4th door, which is described as the feminine heart. It's oriented to receive love. Then you have Af, our 7th door, which is seen as the masculine heart. And its whole job is to give love and express vitality. There are 2 sides of the same coin, and they have to work together. And its placement in this whole spiritual journey is no accident. The first 6 doors are all about building the foundation, but restoring Apheminus at door 7 is the essential step. It's the critical bridge that unlocks the full potential of the final 3 dimensions: being, doing, and having. And when this dimension is restored, the vision is just beautiful. The river of life flows crystal clear and strong. A lush green field of complete peace appears, and the pinwheel itself is just spinning freely, sometimes shining with its own light, or it's adorned with jewels, or even releases butterflies. All these incredible symbols of a vibrant, transformed life. This brings us to the most practical takeaway from all of this. It all comes down to a conscious choice about the very air that we allow our spirit to breathe. On one hand, you have the breath of God, that divine source of life, peace, and true direction. But on the other hand, you have all these other breaths, the influence of fear, the weight of social expectations, the constant stream of negative news, and being dependent on the opinions and validation of others. And this is it. This is the core practice for keeping that inner pinwheel spinning. It's about making a continuous, conscious choice to disconnect from those draining influences and intentionally connect to the one source that gives true vitality.
So, I'll leave you with this question to reflect on. If the state of our inner pinwheel truly reflects our connection to a source of life, what's one small, conscious adjustment you could make today to let that divine breath flow just a little more freely in your own life?